Welcome back. Now, for our next conversation, we are still discussing Nigeria's insecurity, and today we are looking at the rising cases of insecurity in Nigeria and the image it has abroad, Nigeria's image abroad, rising insecurity in Nigeria and her images abroad. To discuss this with me this morning is Omolara Adeyemo. She's a confidence strategist and a life coach. Good morning, Omolara. Thanks for joining me. Omolola, pardon me, it's Omolola. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Good morning. Thanks for joining me this morning. Can you hear me? Hear me? I mean, it's good to have Nigerians, even in diaspora, discuss, and Nigerians concerned, discuss the rising cases of insecurity, speaking of making it vocal, how this affects us, how this affects our image, and how we can, work towards rearranging, rebuilding. And then we see governors, we see the federal government taking measures to beef up security. Earlier in the week, we heard that the new defense minister made some declarations on what he intends to do. But over time, seeing the image Nigeria has had of abroad, and then the cases with Trump and other foreign countries, it's something that's deep down in the heart we should work towards building. As much as we are building, trying to rebuild confidence, we establish confidence in the hearts of citizens, we also are looking to building the image of Nigeria amongst other international communities. I don't know, is Omolala ready? Omolola, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
All right, so we'll start off from the very basics. I know we've had a lot of conversations about this, but with you this morning, what would you say are the primary causes of insecurity in Nigeria, and how have they evolved over time?
Well, I want to thank you first and foremost for having me. When we talk about rising insecurity in Nigeria, we are really talking about the day-to-day realities that people face, from the fear of movement to economic uncertainty, and how these actually have affected the people and how the entire world view us and how we even view ourselves. Just like you said, this has affected the confidence of a lot of people around the world. Nigeria is a nation with incredible potentials, but our current security challenges have actually created a global narrative that doesn't fully represent who we really are. So today, I hope working together we'll be able to shed light on both the truth and the solution. So, well, I will say that the causes can be really unknown, but it's something that if we really dig deep inside, I think it has to do a lot with selfishness on the part of a lot of people, the leadership, and when you want something that is not really yours, then that is when you want to go all the way out to get it at all costs, and that is what I feel is bringing about insecurity around our nation today.
Let's just delve right into it. Now, you've mentioned that Nigeria is a great nation and all of that, but then
Absolutely.
we are being struck by this big banner insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
What are the
Mm-hmm.
what would you say is the current perception, amongst investors, organizations outside Nigeria, and how do you think is the best, like what's the best approach to, towards correcting that, aside what we already know? What would you say should be the primary approach to correcting that perception that foreign organizations and institutions have towards Nigeria?
Well, interestingly, last week I was in a meeting and we were talking about investing in some of the people that were on the meeting were talking about, okay, how we can go into the nation to invest and things like that. And especially because the leadership is trying to ban a lot of importation, and they actually want people to start making do with what we have in the nation, which is a very great move. But when you look at the state of the nation, I think it is not safe even for investors to want to come into the nation and put their money in. And that's exactly what they were talking about on that meeting, that it's a no for them now, that we're not even safe. The people are not safe. What is going to happen to our money? What is going to happen to the people? You don't know. Anything could be an outburst of anything anywhere, and no part of the nation is even safe now. And so you can imagine the people on the meeting with me are actually people abroad. They are people in diaspora. So that will sort of give a summary of the way people outside Nigeria view what is happening in the nation, and it is really affecting us. But I feel that if we really want to hit the nail on the head, or if we really want to take the bull by the horn, it's something we can fix if we really put our heart to doing something. If what we have at the back of our minds is the people, if we put the people at the back of our minds and not our selfish reasons, not our pockets, I believe we should be able to take some drastic steps to ensure that all these things are curbed.
Okay, Nigeria, like you said, is a great, you know, nation in all sense of it. But it seems like there is just this one thing that has eaten into it. Would you say that if we have other sectors sorted out, education, health, would you say that it would override the effect that insecurity has on international communities, or do we, need to suspend all of this and, secure and fix our insecurity issues before we can channel our energy to restoring the other sectors?
I always believe that knowledge is power. And I believe if we are able to focus on our education, because the more you know, the better you behave. So if people have enough knowledge, if they have more knowledge about what havoc they are doing to the nation, I believe it's going to open their eyes and their minds, knowing that, okay, what we're doing is not helping the nation. So I believe we cannot just focus on the security and leave every other aspect. They all go hand in hand. But I believe the greater percentage should be, the greater focus should go to our education. Because when we have more people knowledgeable, when we have more people educated, we have better minds. But all the same, if we have people educated, we have better minds, and they actually end up not having what to do. When somebody goes to the university, you have done all these years and you don't have what to do. Many people focus on the government to provide everything for them, education, security, and all these things. But when we are really, and when I talk about education, education is not just going to the four walls of school. Like what we are doing here today is education. So every means possible to get information out there to people is what I call education. So when people are, their minds are open to the available resources that is even inside of them, apart from what they have around them, I believe people will be able to focus on what they can do by themselves to make sure they are independent, or financially or economical independent, which will help the nation a great deal.
Now we're speaking from the perspective of individuals and education, all of that. Centering on government, we over the week we've heard measures that the government has taken, and when we speak security, aside speaking just national, now we're speaking international security. What would you say are the measures the government needs to improve? How okay the measures government need to improve its response to beefing up security and restoring the image of Nigeria abroad, internationally, nationwide? What would you say are the measures they need to improve on that probably they've not considered in recent times?
Well, you know, when we look at the perception of the people abroad, I think that shouldn't even be the first thing we want to look at. I think we should first and foremost be more concerned about the safety and security of the citizens of the nation before we now think about how people are viewing us. If our focus is shifted from the safety of the people to how people are viewing us, then we might be missing it. So I believe that we should first consider the people, how hopeful are they being citizens of that nation? We have to look at how people see themselves, how they wake up, how they sleep, how they move around. Some people are living they're living in fear. And if what we are focused on is how investors will come into Nigeria, and how I still believe that is all about we have shifted focus. If the people are safe, if there is security per person, so I believe all these things will change from time to time. It might take a long while, but I believe that focusing on the people first, when people know that, okay, I wake up safe, I sleep safe, I move around safe, it will have a ripple effect. And at the end of the day, it will reflect because it's the people that are actually telling the world how they feel. So people are telling the world how they feel. So people are seeing it, they are hearing it. So that is what is actually, I feel, is the most important thing, to focus on the people.
Would you say that with the measures the federal government has, put in place, that they're engaging enough with local communities, civil society, and international bodies to, fight insecurity? Would you say they're engaging these sectors enough?
I would say no, because if we want to look at maybe the federal, want to look at the state, and we don't consider the local securities, local measures that we can put in place. Because take, for instance, each geographical location know what is peculiar to their location, and they know they must at some point been able to put up some personal or local security defense for themselves. So I believe the government could look into these local outlets to see how each community can protect themselves from this insecurity, and try to, it can move from that local and spread out into the state, into the national. So I believe they should focus more on the people, the local security settings, and see how they can harness it to ensure that the people are safe.
When we speak local community, is it, would you say it's to equip the local authorities to fight this crime, or to partners in such an alliance, such that, okay, when you see this thing, because most persons are saying, let us, give us the ammunitions to, when we see them, we'll kill them or we'll fight them and secure our, safeguard our territory. By engaging, are you saying a perfect alliance, or the government should equip these local communities with what they need to fight these crimes themselves, since it happens within their locality?
Yeah, I believe all work hand in hand, because the first thing, like I said earlier, I am big on education. So the first thing the government could do is to work with the local security team to maybe educate them on what is happening, and try to form an alliance with them and see how they can work together, and also equip them. Because if you want them to be able to protect themselves, definitely they need equipment, they need tools as well. So all these things work hand in hand. They must be educated, they must be informed about the situation of the country, and know that, okay, we are ready to work with you, we are ready to support you, we are ready to, I would never say support you, support us, because it's about us. It's a nation, one nation. So we are ready to support ourselves. So we educate them by coming together to let us know the state of things and how we can work together. Then you try to come together and form an alliance with them. How can we make this work for ourselves, for our community? Then the equipment is there. We need to equip them and make sure they have what it takes to actually defend themselves.
Now, would delve a little into social media and media. How would you rate the performance of local and international media in covering the insecurity situation in Nigeria? And what role do you think the social media, would you say the social media is playing enough role in rebuilding the image of Nigeria abroad?
Well, even if the social media wants to actually rebuild the image of Nigeria, we cannot shy away from the reality. It is a reality that there's insecurity, that everywhere is on fire, in quote. But I want to say that, well, the social media is doing a great work in the sense that they are actually making us know what is really happening. Because if we want to look at the media cover a lot of things. They don't actually give us the information as it is. They cover a lot of things, probably because of the people, the power. You get what I'm saying? Because of the power, it is whatever you want to get out there that people will take out there. But the social media actually brings it to us real, live, and direct. And at the same time, they are also giving us some positive vibes, positive aspects of Nigeria, because they are not focusing on just the evil that is happening, the ills that are happening in the nation. We are also seeing things around the world. We have seen information about prominent Nigerians doing great things, doing great, creating great waves around the world, and that gives us, to some extent, a better view. At least people know that we're not all bad. Get what I'm saying? You're not all as Nigerians. Everything about Nigeria is not all bad. We also have some good aspects of our nation, and we see our products out there. We see our people out there who are doing great works, and the social media is not actually relenting in showcasing these people, which gives us hope that if these good people can come from Nigeria, then Nigeria is really a great nation and is worth partnering with to ensure that peace reigns in that nation.
All right. What would you say are the implications, or what is the implication of Nigerian security when it comes to global security and counter-terrorism attacks? What would you say is the implication of this on a global spectrum?
Well, the implication of this insecurity thing in Nigeria, it's something that we just have to fix. Because Nigeria is so great a nation. We're not just great economically. When I say economically, I'm not talking about you understand what I mean. We have resources. We have a lot of things that a lot of untapped resources. But we're also great in people, not in the mind, as in maybe the intellectuals. We are great in number, in population. So, which nation will be able to accommodate Nigeria? There is none. There is none. We are so many that we just have to fix our problems because no nation can take Nigeria as we are. We are too many. So the implication is the global implication it has is going to be a big problem if we don't fix it. If there is an outbreak of war, or there is anything like we cannot afford to be another Somalia. We cannot afford not to just fix our problems. That's just how I see it. It's a big one globally. We have to do it.
Okay. Lastly, before we go, now we know that there are communities that have been affected by this banditry, kidnapping, and my concern now are these displaced people and persons who have been affected. What support would you say? I don't know if you know of any, right? The support that the federal government has extended to these persons, because I think sometime last week you read in the news that some families in Niger State lamented that the government has abandoned them just 8 days after their wards were kidnapped. Would you say that the federal government is doing enough, or is doing well enough to cater to these affected communities in these times?
Well, I think it boils down to, I'm not going to say they don't know, but the first question we need to ask is, do they have enough information? I mean, does the government have enough information about how many people are? I know they are supposed to. So if we look at the percentage of the people that have been displaced to the percentage of what the government has done, if we're able to weigh it, we will know that we can do much more. It's all about being how do I put it now? Like I want to, if we see our people as gold, if we see our people as as important. I know we're going to go all the way out to ensure that people are safe, especially because of what just happened. They have been displaced, and so I believe every other thing should stop to ensure that these people are properly fixed. But my message to every Nigerian, I want to shift my focus from the government now. My message to every Nigerian is we should not leave this to the government alone. If there is somebody around you, this person needs help, and you have that ability to extend a hand of fellowship, or to extend help to your neighbor or to somebody who has been displaced around you, don't hesitate to do that. If we want to wait for the government to do everything, I know the government should, but if the government is not pulling their weight, we have a lot of Nigerians who can help. So let's reach out and help ourselves. It's all about ourselves. It's all about our strength. It's all about our voice. It's all about our courage. We have to take our our life into our hands. It's all about us. So let's work together as a people to ensure that everybody around us, as long as you know that, oh, this person needs help and you can offer that help, let's do that.
All right, thank you so much. That's the
You're
time we
welcome.
have. I mean, we're working towards rebuilding our nation and rebuilding its images abroad. And like you said, it's a collective responsibility. Thank you so much, Omolola. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
joining me
I
this
appreciate
morning,
it.
and do have yourself a wonderful
Thank you
day.
for having me. Yeah, bye.
I thank you for staying with me up to this moment. New day continues shortly after this break. Don't go anywhere.